playing so hard because they played really hard. That was a physical, fast, highly skilled American Conference game, and we were fortunate to come away with it. And it's a credit to our guys. It's credit to the fans and their support. It got really loud in there when we needed it to find a stop. When Ade hit that three, the place just erupted. And so we're very appreciative of our fans. Also appreciative of our three seniors. Again, I said here earlier that this is really a celebration, not just for their contributions this year, but their entire career. You think about the number of games those guys have played, especially David Green. But David, Miles Barnstable, Ramad Dean, and then our five managers too, the just special guys that have really committed to this program and helped build it. So really appreciative of them.
In a game where it's tough to get that run that finally puts you over the top, what were you most pleased with in terms of, I don't know, the patience or, just the competitive spirit of your team?
Well, I think this is March. I think a game like this is way more similar to the games that we could see in the conference tournament. Now, I thought Temple played with some pace. I thought they attacked us. But, I look at a couple different stats. I mean, we were even on the turnover margin, and this was important. Temple's one of the best teams in the country at taking care of the basketball. We needed to do the same, and we did at 8. They're a very good three-point defensive team, and 9 is under our average. What we were able to find some other ways, and that was to attack the basket and get on the inside. This was a grinder of a game. We were able to get just maybe one more stop and one more score, and that was it. And in March, that's what you got to do.
The Barnstable three that was off the screen and before the same thing, I think that's the only shot Ade hit. Those are, for most teams, kind of low percentage. For the guys that you draw them up for, you've hit a lot of those this year. In March, when games are competitive, being able to step up and hit some of those shots, I would imagine, is the sort of thing that it's nice to have in your hip pocket.
It's nice to have really talented players. I mean, and not just talented players, but guys with great confidence. I mean, those were big moments. We came out of the timeout and won, and of course, there's a couple options, but option number one is for Miles to shoot that ball. Same thing to now do it against a different matchup in Ade to shoot that ball. It's one of the things we're good at. I mean, we've got a really good three-point shooting team. Of course, there's times to find balance. There's times to attack. You're in the bonus, and that's where T. Riley and David Green might be on the interior, or Miles Rigsby. But anytime that Miles Barnstable and Ade Popola feel like they're in rhythm for a three, I want them to take it.
There were times during the game where your bench players stepped up. You guys were able to right the ship with Tyland and Barnstable on the bench. Are you happy with how your bench guys have progressed through the season?
Well, I know that there was a time in the first half we had two true freshmen on the floor, in Jalen Lawal and KJ Martin, and those guys dug into their lead. They made some nice plays in the first half. That's significant. Not only to give guys rest, but just to continue to build depth. We're trying to win 3 games in 3 nights, and you've got to have multiple guys. It's very hard to do with just a rotation of 6 or 7. But I thought Ramad Dean, he comes in, gets some offensive rebounds, doing the things that he's done for us all year, makes 2 huge free throws after sitting for a little bit. This is a total team effort, and I really mean it when I say it. It's not just the guys on the floor. It's administration, it's fans, it's everybody, and but everybody was able to really contribute to this one.
So you'd rather win by 34 every night, but is there value in the way this was played today? You kind of said this with regard to kind of waking them back up to the realities of, like you say, March basketball and what you're about to walking to in Birmingham.
These last couple games before this, we had an incredible shooting percentage, and it's, as a coach, you're thrilled. You're like, hey, this is exactly, but it's hard to sustain that type of shooting. But in March, these types of games are very physical. I thought it was very fair, but it's physical, and you've got to be able to withstand some of the contact, and we didn't do a great job of that early. And credit Temple for their physicality and how they were playing. But yes, without a doubt, like this is a type of game that you've got to be able to win. Tight games, inbounding the ball late when they're trying to foul you, getting a stop when you need one. I think, if I could draw it up and say, hey, how do you want to win in the last game? First of all, we just want to win. I mean, however that looks, but to have this type of resistance in a really good team in Temple, this is good for us.
So how did Temple finish below 500 in the league? Thursday they were great. Tonight they were just close.
I just think we're in a really good league, Bill. I mean, I think there's a lot of parity in this league. I do know they've also had some injuries and some guys out sporadically. But again, this is March. Just watch the box scores and the different types of games that are being played this time of year.
Just felt like this reminded me a lot of the UAB game you except you found a way. Did you kind of sense?
I did not think about that game 1 second during that game, Bill. I mean, we shot 36% from 3, and I know we're normally at 39, so we're a little bit below average, but I'm glad the expectation level has risen.
Well, no doubt. I mean, Barstow didn't score till what? Was he scoreless at halftime? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was well into it before he got on the field. So it was an atypical game for sure. I guess that's the takeaway for you guys. It wasn't our A game. It may not even been our B game.
I think it's all about finding a way, and you find a way with different guys at different times. They changed up their coverages. They were clearly trying to really challenge Miles Barnstable. I thought we were a little dribble happy in the first half. We were trying to attack their pressure with dribbling. Our best actions were off the pass and cut. But again, credit to the guys. Like we're getting people's effort. I didn't think that our effort and our energy was subpar. I thought our execution actually was poor. And senior days sometimes can give you, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of emotions. And there's just, you always worry just how we're going to settle into the game. And it took us a little bit, but, we found a way in the end.
Yeah, it took the expectations, about 6 weeks to go from wherever they were to where they are now. So I guess people, I'm sitting here nitpicking a 2-point win, to finish 25 wins. So is this the next couple of days? What do you think? To get ready for the run?
Yeah, so we're playing
Do you think they need to decompress, or do you think they need to go to work? Right.
Yeah, there's a little bit of both. I mean, we're gonna take a look at the commonalities of the opponents that we could face, and tomorrow we're gonna do some weights and some film and some light shooting. We'll work with the guys more that had lower minutes to keep them ready, and then Tuesday we're planning on taking off, and then practice Wednesday and Thursday before we play Friday.
Do you have anything about that building?
Actually, I do. In 2016 and 17, Conference USA conference tournament was there, and so we've been there twice. But I've heard it's been renovated. I've been told that it looks even nicer, bigger building. But it's been a long time. It's been 10 years since I've been there.
You said you didn't think about the UAB game, but did you think about the FAU game? Exact same score as it turns out, exact same final ending with a missed shot. This time you had 3 timeouts in your pocket to help prepare. You took care of the ball better this time in Downey.
Yeah. So I don't think of any other game like while the game's going on. It's not specifically. You think about so in scouting we try to prepare knowing, okay, in these situations what are they going to do? However, that FAU game and the poor job we did of getting the ball in bounds absolutely impacted that next week of practice in saying, well, we clearly need to work on this better. And I feel like our guys have done a better job because we've been in this situation before now a couple times. So without a doubt, games impact future practice in areas of concern. But yeah, I don't think about the game as it's going on. We got enough to think about right there.
Coaches all over the country this weekend lobbying on behalf of their teams to get an at-large, right? Making the case for it. So here's a platform for you. What would you have to say about Tulsa's, from the, because I don't see you guys even near the bubble, and I don't get it. And I don't know where you're 46, I think is the net right now. But what would you have to say if we were the selection people sitting here instead of who we are? What would you have to say to them?
First of all, I think the league is really good. There's a lot of parity. I also know because I study numbers and of just how teams are evaluated differently than 20 years ago, and how those numbers impact whether it's wins above bubble, net, the quadrants, how the Power Four and the Big East are scheduling, just the way that this all is organized right now. There's no case for. I don't want to miss, and I could talk about each team in the league, but this is a really good league, and proud to be a part of it.
Anything else for Coach?
I guess the only thing you control is just winning the conference tournament. And with regard to that, I mean, that you can put your fingerprints on
Yep.
and control.
You know, I grew up a Packers fan, but I also like the Raiders, and Al Davis used to say, just win, baby, right? So we just got to win.
Like, just one, how do you strike the balance? Because these next games will have more pressure than any they've had together this year. So how do you try and get them, in the right frame of mind for that?
I think I don't think that there's a pregame speech that's all of a sudden going to like change how we do things or our mindset. However, we've got guys in that locker room that have done it before. Miles Rigsby has won a tournament before. We've got guys that have played deep into the conference tournament, have won regular season conference championships. So that DNA has been all over our team since the summer, and that was important to us in recruiting. I think where we need to is just say, hey, we don't want to get too high, we don't want to get too low, but that's been the message all along. Not show panic in any moment, just control what we can control, what's the next play, and let's execute that. But without a doubt, Caden, it's tougher. Everybody knows what's at stake in March, and it's the greatest sporting event in the world, in my opinion. You don't see this type of competition and this type of drama this way. So we got to be able to handle it. You got to be able to handle it with your attitude and your effort and your body language, and just move on to whatever's next.
So you got more to go, but just for you personally, you were on the wrong side of 25 your first year, right? And then here you are at 25 there. Will you take 15 minutes tonight to celebrate, savor it?
No, I don't. I don't look at it that way at all. I look at all this as we've got work to do, and whatever situation that we were in at any time, there's work to be done to improve, and that's my focus. Now, I also practice gratitude and appreciation often. I said it to the team. There was a gentleman named Larry who came up to me with tears in his eyes. He'd been coming to games and just was so impacted by this team. It's a special thing. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity to be the head coach here. I know I'm just a caretaker of this program. It's going to go on for hundreds of years. It's a special place, and I just want to do a great job. That's it. And so we've got work to do to get ready for this week, and hopefully for weeks to come.
It's interesting how the post-game teams circling the arena, has changed over the last 3 months.
It's great, isn't it? All right, guys, I got to get to Bruce before he gets.
He's already texted me.
Yes. Our fans have been great, and we feel really connected to everybody, young and old. And we appreciate you all for all the coverage. Thank you.
All right, DT, they're all yours, man.
David Green, who had 22 points on senior night and was 10 of 13 from the free throw line.
What's senior night like when you've only been here 1 year, but you know you really make it count, and you see the fans go from maybe not as invested at the start of the year to kind of what you guys had today. What was that like for you?
It was a good sight to see. Like, we appreciate our fans a lot. We thank them for coming out, and we understood coming into this year that it was something that we would have to grow, and our fan base would show up, and we had faith in them to do that. So as long as we won games and took care of what we needed to do, we knew that they'd show up, and we thank them for coming out tonight how they did.
David, would you have just felt sick if it hadn't gone well today?
Would I have felt sick? Nah, not.
This game wouldn't have been the end of the world if
Yeah.
finish
hmm
it at the end, but it just felt.
Well, nah, yeah, we for sure wanted to win. We don't ever want to go out there and lose, obviously, but we know we have good teams in this conference. Temple is one of them. I'm thankful that we won. I don't like to lose, obviously, but I know that there's more to be played for. So, yeah, for sure.
How will a game like this help prepare you for the conference tournament?
It was a good runner-up for the game that we're about to play. We know that it's going to be closely contested as pretty much every American game is, and we know that this is want to go home now. So nobody wants to go home, and nobody wants to lose. So we know that the following games are going to be hard fought. So it was good. It was a good practice for that.
What's your message to some of your younger teammates who have never played in a conference tournament? What's your kind of message to them going into preparation and games?
Every possession matters. It's pretty much my message to them every day, because everything matters. The way you pass the ball, the way you go rebound, the way you do everything on the court matters. So just my message to anyone who hasn't been in this situation is just treat everything like it matters.
Seems like a long time ago now. You guys remember you lost that 2 in a row, and you called that team meeting. You guys met in your apartment.
Mhm.
Hash chewed it up, and y'all are 15-3 since that day. So,
Mhm.
did the value of that meeting, is it continued today, or have y'all gotten together more frequently, or since then? Just to talk. Or
Ye-
reflect on that meeting in your apartment and the value of it.
Yeah, I think that was a pivotal point in the year. We had, come off a non-conference play, and, we'd been undefeated pretty much. One game we had lost. So we didn't really taste defeat a lot, and we weren't really prepared in how to handle it. So when that situation came, I took it upon myself to kind of just let guys know that it's not the end of the world, and, we have a lot more to fight for. I think it helped us. I think everybody gets the bigger picture now, that it's not just about them. It's a team thing that we got going on here. So I think it was a.
Do you feel like when you guys are at your best, and not necessarily best, but when you are playing really well, that you're the best team in the league?
For sure. There's no doubt in my mind. I feel like when we're locked in on our game plan and we're playing defense like we really want to, like nobody can mess with us in my eyes. There's no disrespect, but that's just confidence and faith in my team.
What's it like to, you play for Coach Conkle and a lot of the staff at Tech, to be able to, through your journey, a lot of years of college basketball, come back and spend your senior year here and have the year that you as a player have had, scoring 500 points with Tulsa, and just the team's success? Like, what's that mean to you, just everything, to wrap it up here with staff that you're familiar with?
I think it's a blessing from God to be in this position. I prayed for this, worked for it. So it's surprised that I'm in the position that I am now with the team that I have now. But I couldn't have pictured it coming out like how it did. Kind of just all came full circle. So I feel like that's something that's, from a higher power from God. So I just give him all the praise and glory to be in this position and have a good team and a good coaching staff that cares about me as a person. And, hopefully we could just bring this thing home.
So you were battling something physically a couple of weeks ago.
Mhm.
So how are you today? Are you 100% or are you just kind of coping or managing, I guess is the word. Are you managing something that's just still kind of there?
No, I feel like nobody's 100% in March, so I wouldn't say that I'm worse off than anyone else. I'm just taking care of my body, doing the right things, working with the trainers, and making sure that I feel the best on game day. So I'll say that for sure.
Anything else for David?
You got it.
Even more, we kind of talked about, the momentum shift in the team early on in the season, but like right now you're on a 5-game win streak. Obviously they've been close and gritty and against tough opponents coming up to March. Is there sort of a feeling within the team, of the momentum, or are you guys just playing your game?
I think it's more of a one game at a time thing with us. We don't really like to ride waves because waves go up and down. So it's like we just want to stay even keel. We know who we got ahead of us in that game, whatever game it may be, and we want to give our complete attention to them because every game is different. Like you see, one game may be a blowout, the next game may be a 1-point win. We'll take any win we could get.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.